welcome to my channel. If you're new around here, then my name is Lorian. I'm a mum of 6 and I'm due my 7th. I don't think I said in September. Super exciting time for a family, and I am now going to share with you a Q&A. So I put a poll up on my Instagram for people to ask me questions about my pregnancy, and also some of you left me comments on my YouTube videos. So I'm going to answer them all now, and I hope you enjoy watching. Okay, so first one on the list is, were you trying for a baby? Also, congrats, I follow on Insta and YouTube. Thank you so much. I can't believe people follow me. I find it really strange. Really nice, but like, I think like, it's me, why would anyone want to watch me? But we weren't like actively trying, but we knew that if we got pregnant then we would be happy, because we get pregnant really easily, which I'm very grateful for. I'm not on contraception. We are careful, but we know that it's something that can happen. Obviously, we know that with us, like, it's something that's quite likely to happen. So when we are at the point where we're like, we don't want anymore, we will make sure like we have got the proper precautions in place. I am so excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited before. I feel like I'm in like a really good place of parenting at the moment, where I'm just like, I'm really ready and I'm really excited, and it's probably, yeah, the most excited I've been. So this has 2 questions, which is career before babies. So before I had any children, we had our first when we were really young. We were like 18, 19. Before then, I was going to college so that I could go to university because I wanted to be a midwife. I just worked part-time, firstly at McDonald's and then in Asda. And I really enjoyed that. I just did like a weekend, but I've not had like a proper career. And I know some people think like you need to have a proper career, or you need to put like your own needs first. But for me, like, being a mum is what I do. And my husband supports us all financially, and he supports us really well. Our life, we're very happy. Everything we like, his work's going really well and he's happy with that, and he actually doesn't want me to work because he likes me being around for the children. So like, we've always said like, when the children are old enough and they're all in school or nursery, about me getting a job, and he wouldn't want me to because he wants me to be around to like, if the children need me for like school things, and just to pick them up and look after them and things like that. So he actually likes the idea of me still being around, but which I'm happy with because I love it. But obviously, if I did want to go to work, he would also let me go to work. He's not like saying I can't, but he's saying like, if I'm happy like this, then he's happy like this. If it ever got to a point where financially we needed me to go to work, I can go to work. So I got, which month is the baby due, which I said at the beginning, the baby is due in September. Was there something specifically that made you decide to go for one more baby? There was nothing specifically. If it didn't happen, then yeah, we wouldn't have had another one. It was just like an if it happened sort of thing. So also, Curtis has called the doctor about vasectomy. I did call them for him. He wanted me to, but he's just not a phone call person. So I called the doctor, and then we haven't heard about it yet. Apparently the waiting is like over a year, but if it happened before then we were happy with that. And if not, then we also would have been happy with that. We were happy with our family as it was, but we're also happy with it growing. To be honest with you, if it wasn't for the fact of a car and a house, we would definitely have more children after this. But I think we sort of have to restrict ourselves on the fact of living comfortably. The next question is, do you enjoy pregnancy? I love pregnancy because like, when people hear I'm pregnant, they'll be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't like being pregnant, and that they struggled and things, but I don't struggle. I love it. I find it easy. I don't have any complications most of the time. I haven't had any complications or anything. I just love it. I love having my baby with me. I find like, when I'm not pregnant, I feel a bit lost. But yeah, I mean, I've got to love it. This is my 7th baby. And how has the first trimester been? Thank you for asking. It has been really nice, really well. Like, at the beginning, as you would have seen in my early pregnancy video, I get really emotional, really teary. I'd say depressed, but it's not depression. It's just me being a bit dramatic. So I struggle in that aspect, but I don't like feel unwell or get sickness and things like that. So it has been really good, thank you. Hi love, what's this pregnancy plan? Congratulations again to you. So as I've said, I've sort of answered it already. It wasn't planned, but it wasn't sort of like not planned. I feel like since we were very careful with our first few, because we just weren't at a place to have more children, then we didn't feel, I think, mentally capable to have more children. Since our 4th, just we have changed as people and parents, and I feel so much more mentally capable to be a mum than I did then. And I would have always said to people like, have children young, because then like, I don't know, I just thought it makes more sense to have them younger rather than older. So like, when you are older, your children aren't still really young, but I have found I've really mentally and emotionally progressed as a mum the older I've got. I mum better in my 30s than I mummed when I was a teenager, when I was early 20s. I didn't have the mental capacity for it as much as I do now, if that makes sense. But yeah, I am a completely different mum to who I was then. Did you always want this many children? I think you and Curtis seem like such great parents. Thank you so much. When I was little, always said I wanted 4 children. I wanted 2 girls and I wanted 2 boys. And Curtis is never really something he's been sure on. He's just sort of, I don't think we ever really had a discussion on it. Because we had children so young, we didn't get a chance to think about what we wanted. Like, I always knew, because I was a little girl who always wanted a baby. I knew what I wanted, but it's never been something he'd thought about. And then we had 3 boys, and I mean, Curtis would have been happy to stop and not have any more, but I just really wanted a little girl. So yeah, then we had a girl, and then I wanted a sister for her, and then luckily we had a sister for her, and it just sort of went from there. But as our family's grown, Curtis has just become such an amazing dad. Thought of any names yet? I've thought of some names. I've had some, like, I've got some written down on my phone that I've had for such a long time. I think I'll do a couple of videos on like baby names, what my favourites are, and ones that I might choose. Yeah, I've got some names I really like for either gender. How far along are you? I am 21 weeks pregnant. It's gone so quickly. And I was thinking last night, I don't want it to go too quickly. As much as I want the baby to cuddle, I don't want it to go too fast because I love being pregnant. How are you finding it looking after a baby while pregnant? Does anything make it easier? I don't find it too difficult, I think, because I never really feel too pregnant. I guess towards the end, like when you're like exhausted, you've got a big tummy and it's like hard to do things, but I could do like a whole separate video on parenting at different ages, which I might do because I think that's like a big factor for me for being a better mum. I think I will do that. I'll do a video on how I'm peaceful, because I think our life is obviously like so busy, but we have a really good routine. We work really well together, like so well together, and Curtis is so helpful. Like, I can't say it's all me, and I can't say I do all this so well myself, because Curtis is amazing, as you all know. I don't find it difficult with a baby too, but he's a very good baby. My friends say that too. When I'm out with my friend, you'll know my friend on YouTube, Hannah, she's always like, he is so good, and he's so good. When people say, how is it having 6? And I say, like, he makes it easy. He's such a good boy. And that probably really helps. I think Flossie was a really demanding baby, and if I had her as my 6th child, I probably would struggle a lot more because she never wanted to go down. She never slept too well. Whereas like, he'll nap all morning and I can get loads of things done. He's just so good. Was hero not your last? Congrats, by the way. So no, he could have been, like, we did say if we don't have one, we don't have one before Curtis has a vasectomy. But if we do, we do. So it was just sort of like we knew we were ready for one, we could afford one, and we were happy with for one, but if we didn't, we still were complete. So was this pregnancy planned? I have answered that. And when is the baby due? I have answered that too. It's the beginning of September, I think, in the first week. It keeps changing though. Do you know what the gender is? If so, we'll be doing a reveal. So we'll find out soon. We find out this week what the gender of the baby is. And then, yeah, I will be sharing what the baby is with everybody. I think me and Kurt's are gonna find out together on our own. And then we're gonna share it with the children, and then we'll share it online. Not a question, but so looking forward to your next birth and baby. Thank you so much. It's so nice that people are like excited for it. I find like people online are so much nicer to me than people I know in the real world. And that is such a shame, but it's so nice. Next is surprised, but so happy for all of you. Thank you. We had most people not very surprised, like people at the school. When I knew I was pregnant and they didn't know, they would say, you're not having another one soon? And I was thinking like, but yeah, everyone was like, it's about time you have another baby now, isn't it? I think it's like the gap's always about this much. But yeah, I was sort of surprised, to be fair, this time. I wasn't really expecting it. I didn't actually think we'd end up having another one before Curtis had his vasectomy, but I just couldn't be more excited. The next question is, how do you manage housework with smaller children at home? I think my children are actually really good. Obviously, every child has their moments. My children have their moments. They wind each other up. They scream and shout and bully each other sometimes. They're really good and they entertain themselves. I don't have to entertain them. I think taking away screens has really helped my children to learn to go and play. I also won't entertain it. Like, I'm not saying I'm like, I won't get involved and I won't play with them and, you know, like little things with them. Like I will play with the girls and I will watch what the boys are doing in the garden and help them with their bug houses and watch them on their cars and things like that. And I will buy them things to craft and make and bake, and I do lots with them. But when I'm doing something for me, like that's when I'm doing something that I need to do. So if I'm doing the washing, like they know I'm doing the washing, I'm not just going to drop it and go and help them. I'm doing what I'm doing. So they're really good at like entertaining themselves and knowing like if I'm busy, like leave me to do what I'm doing and then I'll come and help them. So I would just say like they are really, really good children, and they just really do entertain themselves. They don't watch much TV and they don't go on screens. So they have really learned just how to get on with things, and that really helps because like I will come back from the school run and Hero will go down for his nap and the girls will be here, but I can still get things done. They are 4 and 2. I can tidy the kitchen, I can do a dishwasher, I can clean the bathroom, I can do the washing, and they might even follow me round, but they'll probably help me. They just wouldn't burden. They're really good. I'm a new mum of 5 and getting burnt out quite frequently. How do you avoid that? It depends like in which way, because I think one, I have massive help with Curtis. So in the mornings before school, before he goes to work, he will get up and just do 50% of everything with me. So like there's getting the children dressed, making breakfast, making lunches, feeding Hero, changing nappies, doing their hair. He will normally do their hair every morning. He will just like 50% of that he'll be doing. Whilst I'm doing something, he's doing something. He doesn't sit around and do nothing. He doesn't do anything for himself, really. He's like a second mum. He does like everything, and as well as working. So like he'll get up in the morning and he will make our coffees, he'll make the children's breakfast, he'll get the little ones changed and fed. And obviously I'm doing things too at the same time, but we just work so well together. We know what needs to be done, and I feel like we don't have a checklist, but in our heads we have the same checklist and we know that needs to be done, and he will just do that with me. And that is massive help, because I have friends whose husbands don't help, and I find it like such a shame because it just helps so much to get everything done. And I feel like it also helps your relationship because you're both happy. Like bedtimes, Curtis will bath them, he'll brush their teeth, he'll get them in bed. The other one of us is like not sitting there, they'll be like doing dinner or cleaning or doing dishwasher. Like he is just always doing something, and I can never give enough praise to Curtis and what he does. So I guess like number one, it's got to be that he helps so much. But I think I used to get in the headspace of like, I need me time, I need to do this, I need to do that. And you need to sort of like tell yourself like to slow down a bit, because you don't have to do all of that. And I've got over having me time, and I've started to like enjoy my children's time more. Whereas I used to just think, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go out there, I want to go here. I can't do anything. But now I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I want to be with my children. And yeah, I think making sure you've got big support in your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, will like it works. It helps your relationship work better, and that's just like one of the biggest factors. And I think if you don't have that, then you should sit down and chat and just speak, and just it will really help you both together. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and don't put too much on you for like having to like thinking you have to do more than you have to do. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to have an immaculate house. And you don't have to constantly make sure your children are busy. Like children will have really good imagination if you let them have it. So just let them get on, and like for a while have a hard time of like forcing them to get on. And that will help you to be able to get things done and stop feeling that way, because once they know like you've got your things to do as well, they'll get on. They just get on. The next question, which is my last one on Instagram, says, you're only 30, how will you be able to not have any more babies after this one? So, well, I don't think it's like, how will I not be able to? Because like, if I want to, then I can. We can afford the children. And obviously everybody knows our house is not huge, but we're in the process of selling, and we have plans for if we don't sell before, we're thinking of renting in the meantime. And then once this is sold, we will obviously then buy a property, but we could afford to rent whilst we're waiting for this to sell. Also, I think the massive thing that would stop me having any more is probably my car over my house, because we now have a 9-seater, but in the UK to get like a bigger car than that is just like silly money. It's not practical. I think you need a different license as well. I don't think you can just have that in the UK. Sorry, 1 second, Curtis is calling me. He has taken Rue to Specsavers because Horatio broke Rue's glasses this morning. All right, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. See, so things like that. This morning, obviously because my children aren't perfect, Horatio was winding Rue up this morning, wearing his glasses, running around with them, and Rue was like screaming for them back. I'm trying to get dressed, but usually I just ignore it. Like, I'll say, Horatio, give him his glasses back, but I'm not going to scream and shout, and I'm not going to stress myself out over it. And then Horatio took them off and threw them across the landing, and they're broken. Kurt said, you're going to have to take him down before school this morning. And I said, yeah, okay. I just had things I wanted to do, which was this video. I really wanted to film this video. And the girls are both at nursery, so it's like perfect time for me. And he was like, okay, tell you what, I'll go and fit the sink that I need to fit for someone at work. I'll take Rue with me. And then after that, I'll go down to Specsavers and get his glasses replaced for him. He's done that. And I did say he didn't have to, but yeah, he's insistent to help me out all the time. So he's taken him to Sainsbury's, Specsavers, and they don't have the glasses. So now he's having to take him into town centre. And obviously I'm saying sorry. And he's like, no, please don't be sorry, it's fine. He's just so helpful. But I've forgotten what I was saying. How will I not have any more babies? If we have decided that the point is where we're done, then Curtis is going to get a vasectomy, which I'm really sad about. I was like, before this baby, I was like, no, yeah, like it's so necessary. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I want more babies. But yeah, we are very happy and we're very blessed and very lucky. And we have so many plans to make our house bigger. I think I got a comment from somebody the other day, which I deleted, saying you can't have another baby because your older boys need their own bedroom first. One, like, why do my older boys need their own bedroom first? Like, they go in their bedroom to sleep. They don't really do anything else in there otherwise. Our eldest is 12 and he doesn't have a smartphone. He doesn't go on consoles and games. Like, he's a child and he is only 12. I think we're like in the mindset of like a 12-year-old boy needs his own room because he's grown up in it. He's not grown up, he's a 12-year-old boy, and he enjoys playing with his siblings, and they all play really nicely and really well together, usually in the garden at the moment. But if it's not super sunny, then yeah, they'll play in their bedroom, they build Lego and things, and they're fine. There's no like need for more space. I think people get in their head this like, you need a bigger house, you need your own bedroom for your children, and you really don't. So if you're in the same situation as me, don't be stressed or upset about it, because as long as you and your family are happy, like I know my boys are happy, and they don't ask for their own bedroom, they don't expect their own bedroom, and it's something that I would like to do for them, but not even necessarily to have their own bedroom. I think we'd like a bigger house for more downstairs space. Obviously we would look for more rooms, but I don't know how I would even split the bedrooms at this point. I think until you knew my family and how my children are, you might not understand like how it works, but it just does work. And yeah, any comments like that is not necessary. I don't need it, and they don't know my family, so they don't need to be saying things like that. But I was even saying to my dad the other day, I can't wait to move house. And he was like, are you sure you even need to move house? So if my dad, who knows my children, me and Curtis, extremely well, comes around my house and knows how big it is and thinks, do we even need to move house, then that sort of shows that we're doing fine. I'm going to get on to some YouTube questions. First one I have here is, when is the baby due? I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much, Kerry, you're so lovely. So I did say the baby's due in September, beginning of September. I have another one from Patricia, which is, thank you for your update, you look so well. Thank you so much. Looking back on a couple of your videos from the beginning of the year, I think you did a video about not feeling on top of things, like you're overwhelmed, and I'm wondering if that was the brief of your pregnancy. You and Curtis are such happy people and your children are always happy. So very, very happy for you all. Thank you so much. That would have been at the beginning of my pregnancy. I was overwhelmed and stressed out. As I said, like I get really emotional and really upset, and I feel like I can't cope. And I think I explained in the video, it wasn't my children, it was just, I think I had a lot of negativity from the outside world, not online, but like people I knew in the world. And since I cut that off, I feel really positive and a lot happier, and I feel like I've changed mentally and emotionally. The next one is, how many kids do you want? Did you try for this one? So I have answered this already. I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, I wanted 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls, and we didn't particularly try, but we knew this sort of thing that might happen, and we welcomed that. Blink and we'll be on baby watch videos again. I can't wait for that. My question would have been about contraception. I guess it didn't come as a shock. You're Wonder Woman. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm not on contraception because I don't like that sort of thing. But once we have the baby, if we do decide that we don't want any more children, which I think will be the case because of our car, unfortunately, then I will go on contraception until Kurt has his vasectomy. I think the waiting list is a year, and he's been on it for a few months or it's just over a year. So I might have to go on contraception for a little bit, which I will do because, as I've said, like, I'm so fertile, so I probably would get pregnant again. So yeah, I would go on that until you had that, and then I would be able to come off that. So you can maybe answer when you do, and I know you want to know what the baby is because that will help with how many bedrooms in the new house. Yeah, I really want to know what the baby is. It's weird because with my last, most of you know, I didn't find out what he was. And I absolutely loved it. I said, like, it's such an amazing experience and I recommend everyone does it, and I wish I'd done it before. But yeah, this time I just have a massive urge that I want to know what the baby is, which I've had every other time. I don't know how I managed to hold off last time, and I don't know how I went the whole pregnancy without finding out. It's crazy. It's just not me. But yeah, I can't believe I had the willpower, but yeah, we will definitely be finding out this time. Hi Lauren, I really enjoy watching your family. We have 4 kids and admire yours a lot. My youngest is 8 months and we are not using contraception, but we would not mind more children. We have 3 boys and 1 girl. That's so lovely. And we definitely want more kids. Did you get pregnant straight away after the last one, and were you breastfeeding fully? Since we knew that we wanted more children and we were welcome to it, like for our first 3, I was on contraception up until when we knew we were going to try for a baby. After Roo, I knew I wanted another baby, which Curtis was happy with because I really wanted a girl. Because I'll be really honest, I just really wanted a little girl. I think like we all want the gender we don't have, but I think like people don't really speak about that, do they? I think gender disappointment is definitely not something that's ever touched on. And for some reason you feel like you're not allowed to want. People make you feel like you're not allowed. But I have my 3 boys, they're amazing. But yeah, I just really wanted a daughter. We weren't trying for Flossie, Lilac, Hero and the baby, but we knew it could happen and I knew it was going to happen. So it was just like letting it happen naturally. So I wasn't on contraception, but we were just like extremely careful still, and I tracked all my cycles and everything, and we were very careful knowing that I get pregnant like that. It would happen, but it will happen when it's going to happen. We just did it by that. And what's strange is it's all happened around the same time. So after Roo, the gap between Roo and Flossie is 20 months. And then between Flossie and Lilac is 18 months. And Lilac and Hero is 21 months. And then Hero and the baby's gonna be 17 months. So it's 20, 18, 21, 17. It's like always the same sort of gap, so it must just be at that point that my body's starting to go back to normal. Obviously, as I've said, we weren't actively trying, or it definitely would have happened like a lot sooner. I breastfed them all, and Flossie I breastfed for 18 months. I was breastfeeding her whilst I was still pregnant with Lilac. Lilac I breastfed, I think it was only about 4 months, and she stopped herself because Flossie just wouldn't stop. But Lilac stopped herself at 4 months and Hero stopped himself at 6 months. So it's just the sort of thing they've weaned off really easily, but I haven't had to put anything into stopping them, they just stopped. Although Lilac and Hero I did combi feed, and Flossie I exclusively breastfed, but that still didn't stop me getting pregnant. My periods didn't come back properly after my last. I had one and then I didn't have one for a couple of months, and I had one and then I was pregnant. Was it a shock to find out, or were you trying for another baby? You certainly need that bigger house, and soon. Fingers crossed something comes up. Was a shock, yeah. It shouldn't have been. It was more of a shock than the others for some reason. I just really wasn't expecting it. I was, but I like didn't think it was going to happen before the vasectomy. So it was a shock, but yeah. And yeah, I've explained about the house. We obviously, as I've said, will look to probably rent before we get another house. If that's what happens first, we're just going to like wait and see what happens, and as it gets nearer the time, if we think we want to rent then and we haven't sold, then we'll do that. How many children do you want? Well, as I said, I think this is going to be our last, but I could have more. I could definitely have so many more, and I think Curtis wouldn't say he wanted more, but if we had more he would be happy with that. It's just, as I've said, like it's more car, not even house. So that's everything for my Q&A. What I'm going to do is do a future plans video where I'm going to touch on house, car, children, things like that. Bit of a catch up. So if you'd like to see that, then please do subscribe and stick around to see more of my videos. Thank you so much to everybody for your questions, and thank you all for your kind words. I think I just have one negative comment, which is the one that I said. Other than that, you've all been so lovely and it means so much to all of us. So thank you so much everybody. I hope you had a really lovely week, and hopefully I'll see you on my next video.